Hi, I'm John and welcome to Half Dozen Homestead. Today's project is the pond. Specifically what we're going to try to do is we're trying to stop water leaching out from our pond. We're going to be using bentonite clay and trying to apply that, following the directions and seeing if we can solve our water issue. A little bit of backstory, we dug the pond 4 years ago.
Nathaniel!
This area was all low, so what we did is we used all the fill from that pond to really build this whole area up.
You guys having fun?
When we first dug the pond, we were able to fill it a lot higher. Now, really, the level we're stuck at is right where Nathaniel's walking there. The pond is down a little bit further since it's been dry, but we're really having a lot of water leach. So we built up this side, as you can see, quite high. So all of this is build up. Our ground level used to be what we've got down here. So from there to here, we've got at least 4 feet of height that we've built up. What I suspect is happening is the water is leaching through, and it's leaching through at the original soil level. When we packed this all, when we built this up, we used a dozer, and we probably should have used a sheep's foot packer. So the dozer worked fine, it held well, but now what's happening is that original level of where the ground was at, water is squeezing through that first level because that wasn't really built up properly with the dozer. What the dozer packed up worked well, but the first level we really should have tried to adhere that a little bit better. So water's weeping through, and it's getting through this hill, and it's coming out all the way down here. So where I'm standing is on the original level, and we get water that comes out around these posts and water that'll weep out here. So what we're going to try to do is use some bentonite clay, and we're going to try to work that into the soil where I'm fairly confident the leaking's coming from, and we're going to see what happens. I had to drive like an hour and a half to pick up this clay because nobody local stocks it, and it's a total gamble. I have no idea if it's going to work or not work, but let's try it out, see what happens, and I'll let you know the results. So bentonite clay is meant to be put in underneath the soil. Some people will cast it on top and hope that it gets sucked into their leak and plugs it. There's a small chance of that happening, but really the way it's supposed to be installed is underneath the soil. So my goal is to get the tractor, dig the edge up a bit, try to put a whole bunch of bentonite clay in, backfill it, pack it, and then as soon as we've got some more rain coming this week, hopefully the pond will fill up. So really what I'm trying to do is expose some native soil back down the edge here. I'm going to clean up. I'll sprinkle a whole bunch of the bentonite clay and then try to manually pull this back. So we'll see how it goes. It's a little bit scary. I'm fairly confident the leak is happening in this semicircle right here. Not right now, bud. Go finish washing your feet. So we've got our bags of bentonite clay. Again, I had to go pretty far to go pick this stuff up. I've done a little bit of research online, really tried to get an idea of how well it works, what I can do. I called a couple other people who sell this as like a pond stopping solution, but what they recommend is digging it in and putting these mats in that are soaked in this clay. But that's a ton of money and I don't really want to do that. And again, we want to see if we can get this to work. Oh, look at that. A big chunk of clay just moved into the bottom of the pond. Okay, so I want to get this done quick before all of my clay that I've got stacked here starts making its way to the bottom of the pond. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to sprinkle it into my trench so that it goes on the bottom of my trench and so that it goes on the wall. And then hopefully I'll be able to pull this stuff back, and then as it gets soaking wet, it'll expand. So bentonite can expand like 14 times its size, and it also bonds. I can't remember if it's negatively or positively charged, but it's going to bond to the mud and everything else that's around it as it swells to really like concrete in the edges. It should be fine for the fish. Again, it's going underneath the soil, so we should be in good shape there, but I'm going to get this done as fast as I can so I can get the soil back in so that all of my clay doesn't end up filling the bottom of my pond. So I'm putting it on this clay too here so that as I pull that back, it's all going to get pushed in too. Nice. What am I doing?
Why are you doing that?
Well, this stuff might help the pond stop leaking so it can get fuller. How? Because this stuff swells up and it's supposed to stop, be like a plug. I've got it in there and you can see it's starting to swell already. It keeps swelling and swelling. And then I've got it flipped over on this side. So if I'm able to get my bucket and pull this back, all that bentonite clay gets trapped inside. This is just terrifying. It's so terrifying. I don't think I'm going to use the tractor because it sounds so easy. It sounds so easy to use the tractor, but I'm terrified that I'm going to go in the drink. This is not going to be fun. So my goal is if I can reach further with the tractor, then hopefully I'm not going to drive into the pond. This is, Jerry wouldn't even rig this, but I've got this Jerry rigged here. We're going to try to see if I can flip some of that soil over so I don't have to go elbow deep in the mud. I don't know, I call that a success. Didn't have to go back in the pond, was able to flip all that up. So I'm gonna go get a little bit more clay to fill in the spot here, that piece of clay that slowly made its way to the bottom of the pond. But I'll grab a rake, try to push this all again back to the side, but I'm hoping that this does something. I'm not 100% positive it will, but like, that's the hope. And then what we'll do is wait till we get a rain. And once we get a rain, then maybe we'll look at pumping the pond up, or we'll let it sit. We'll let it sit for the summer and then pump it up in the fall. I don't know, I'm sort of on the fence here. I don't want all this loose muck that I just piled back in here to wash away. And I'm worried it might do that if I fill the pond. So maybe I'll give it a couple days, let it harden up, and then look at filling the pond. My contraption worked, this worked. The pond is dirty and yucky, but hopefully we can keep working on it. Hopefully get a little bit of pond dye in there, get this pond nice and clear, filled up, and just looking beautiful. This is my favorite part of the property, is having this pond and having this area where I can have chickens wander and geese wander, pigs. Yeah, it's awesome. Thanks for watching Half Dozen Homestead. I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll let you know how the rest of the pond goes. Bye for now.